the evil thoughts I had about you.
That's
You know,
okay.
like, but
Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. I am so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be going through some of the comments that you left after episodes 1 and 2 of season 18 of Sister Wives. One of the first comments I want to talk about was focused on Meri and Robyn and the relationship they had when Robyn entered the family. But before I jump to the comment, I want to throw in a clip of Meri talking to Robyn.
When Robyn came into the family, we were not a perfect family, but we were a really good family.
So here is the comment. If the goal was more kids and Meri could only have one, I see why Meri was so excited about the fourth wife. Meri seemed so desperate to please Kody, and that's sad. She risked her whole family because of insecurity. I'm so sad for her because all her moves were made from her feelings of inadequacy. Robyn was a Cancer from the beginning and always gave me bad vibes. Kody is an idiot. Even if it wasn't perfect, they were a family. I definitely agree that a lot of Robyn coming into the family had to do with Meri, and that's pretty open. It's on the show. Meri played a big role in it. I think Meri did it to please Kody, but I also think she desperately needed an ally in the family. She wasn't getting along with Christine and Janelle, so I think Robyn coming in was kind of like her finally getting to have a friend. I'm sure she would have never guessed how it was all going to turn out for her. So the next group of comments I picked out were all about Kody wanting Christine to go to counseling. In my last video, I talked about how ridiculous I thought that was, and I thought Kody was just trying to drag her back in. I could see him doing this for money or to have some sort of control over her, keep pulling her back into his circle. So I was really opposed to Christine doing this. I hope it never actually happens, but I do want to read through some comments that you guys left about it.
break up counseling with you, like, hey, we're done. Be functional, because I don't want to sit here and
Post-breakup counseling?
Yes.
Okay, here is the first comment I want to talk about. It's a little bit of a longer one. It says, I do not think that Christine needs to go to counseling with Kody. If Kody has not accepted the end to the relationship, that is his problem. It's not like counseling that he has went to in the past with his wives made any difference or kept the relationships from falling apart. Now the only thing that Kody has any right to discuss with Christine is the kids they had together, visitation for the minors. If Kody is struggling with a woman he has said in the past he was not attracted to or in love with leaving, that is toxic and controlling. He needs to seek help for that. He probably wants to use counseling just to bring up grudges and punish Christine for being the one that walked away, unlike Meri. Kody has a bruised ego. There's so many good points in that comment. First of all, Kody needs to seek help. This sounds like a Kody issue. He was the one who didn't want to have an intimate relationship with her, didn't want to go over to the house, but then expects her to stay. It seems like Kody needs to work on his own understanding about healthy relationships because he doesn't get it. But I also think the part about Meri is interesting. Meri is being told to go, so that makes it feel like Kody has all the power. He's making the choice. No one's leaving him. He's telling Meri to go. But Christine leaving, that's going to bruise his ego because he didn't tell her to go. He didn't say it was over. He's not done with her. So the situation's really different between Meri and Christine. I think a lot of it is Kody's ego. The next comment, I'm actually going to read the original comment and the reply. The comment says, yeah, he only wants counseling to keep her in his world, specifically to do what he's always done, which is make her feel bad about herself and make himself feel good. And then someone replied, he wants to yell at her and explain over and over how he did nothing wrong and everything is her fault until she agrees with him, which she never will. Another comment says, I think Kody's idea of counseling is to keep Christine involved in the show. It's all about the money and his kingdom. I think both of those comments nailed it. Kody is going to want to make Christine look bad. He's going to want to look like the good guy, and he needs to make money. My only concern is that this show has been money for everyone in the whole family, and I'm wondering how much the other wives are depending on money from this show as well. Would they do something like going to counseling with Kody to keep it going? You know, I don't know about their bank accounts and their wallets, so I don't know how much they are motivated to stay on this show, or if TLC has some idea, some direction it can go, even if they're all separate. I think there's still a show to watch there. Even with these women being gone, I think continuing to watch these women go out and date and get married, if they do get married, just following them through with life after Kody is still a show that I would watch. So I don't think TLC needs to drag it back in this direction, but I wonder what it would be like for Kody if he can't pull them all back in. You know what would be really scary is if he took on a new sister wife. I would be so disturbed, but I could see him doing it because I don't think they make money from a lot of other places. The next set of comments is all about the infamous ear piercing part of the episode. Listen, I have so much more to say about that part, but I really focused in on how he didn't go with his other kids. But some of you expressed your opinions in the comments really well, so I'm going to read through some of those. But first, here's a clip of Kody, and you know what? Be sure to watch how he grins at the end of this clip.
Now I'm going with Aurora, kind of like a sort of an experience, a daddy-daughter experience, and we're going to go get her ears pierced.
I made sure to take a screenshot of that for you guys so you could all look at it. I can't decide if it's a good picture of him or if it's creepy. I think I'm so used to him being angry and not smiling. I'm like, what is going on? What is this guy doing? It's bizarre to see him actually smile. Now let's jump into some of the comments you guys left about Aurora getting her ears pierced on the show. Here's the first one. They have the most boring storyline. Who cares about a 20-year-old getting their ears pierced with their stepdad? Snooze fest. I agree. I felt like this came out of nowhere. I did feel like it was a weird storyline. I think Kody thought it was going to make him look really great and like an awesome dad. What I would have liked to have seen was actually Aurora and Brianna go together and see what these two girls are like when Kody and Robyn are not around. But instead, I think Kody just wanted to try to look like a good dad, and it kind of backfired for him. And the next comment says, I'm so salty about the ear piercing. He says he wishes he could have had this experience with his older daughters, but fails to realize the only person who kept that from happening was him. Also, not shocked that his tune changed on ear piercing when Robyn entered the family. Yeah, he is the only person to blame for not going. He doesn't even remember when they did it. I just liked how he acted like Aurora was some amazing child for waiting and not doing it until after she turned 18, but then Janelle says that's what they all did. But he doesn't even know that because, he wasn't that interested and he wasn't that involved. But there, Aurora is the golden child for waiting. It sounds like they all were good kids, And I feel like there's been a lot of comments online about how Aurora seems a little bit immature. But what do you expect? She has been cooped up in a house with Robyn and Kody. If she's a little bit immature, that's probably the best outcome because who knows what other issues you could have if you had to live with the two of them. Next two comments are short, so I'm going to read them together. The first one says, if I asked my dad to take me to get my ears pierced at 19 as a grown adult, he would ask me what was wrong with me. The second comment says, they'd better come up with a better storyline because ear piercing an adult is beyond boring. I think most viewers were surprised that this was brought up and it was all on the show when there's so many other things they could have talked about. There's so many other issues going on. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe just to add some normalcy to the show. I still think a lot of it probably was Kody feeling like he was going to show what a great dad he was and how good the other kids were. That's what I really think. But yeah, it was a bizarre storyline with everything else going on. The next set of comments are all about the Brown Thanksgiving. But before I talk about the comments, here's a clip of Robyn talking about their separation.
We're all separated, except for Meri and Kody and I are together with my kids.
Okay, here is the first comment. The footage TLC used for Thanksgiving at Robyn and Kody's house was from the previous year. It was from 2020. So several of you pointed this out. What's funny was I didn't fully connect the dots, but I knew something didn't seem right because the day before the season 18 Thanksgiving episode aired, I had watched the season 17 Thanksgiving episode. So I'd watched it the day before and I had taken screenshots the day before of that, the season 17 Thanksgiving episode. And then I took screenshots of this season's episode. And I didn't see them side by side. I did one the day before, one the day after. But what's funny was I remember looking at Ari's hair and thinking, why hasn't it grown? Because I've always assumed Ari must have cut her own bangs, and I presumed a year later she would have them longer or they would be cut different. So instead of noticing anything else, I had noticed Ari's hair. So yes, I am with you. I don't understand why they had to show old footage. Even if they decided that they didn't want to be filmed for the holidays, why didn't they snap a photo of them all together and just put the photo on the screen? They had to know viewers were going to catch on. And here's the second Thanksgiving comment I want to talk about. It says, Kody and Robyn fail to realize that as your kids grow up, leave the house, get jobs, get married, have kids of their own, and have lives of their own, the family dynamic changes. Family holidays change. It's an adjustment for everyone. At some point in our kids' adult lives, the parents need to adjust themselves and come alongside of their kids and be more accommodating of their kids and what they want to do for the holidays and family gatherings. To think and expect that family gatherings are going to always be the same as our kids grow up and have lives of their own is unrealistic. I 100% agree with that. I feel like this is something that was talked about a lot during the 2020 holidays. Things are going to change, and Robyn and Kody seem to think they are the sun and everyone else is the planets that are revolving around them. That's just not the case. As these adult kids move on, you're going to have to make choices on the holidays. Not everyone's going to go back to Kody and Robyn's house. And why would the other wives go there to watch Robyn's kids celebrate Christmas instead of going to their own kids' homes? It just doesn't make sense. I also think this is an issue again because Robyn's two youngest children, Saul and Ari, they are so much younger than the other kids. Not really truly, but you know what I mean. The other children, the big group of older kids. Robyn's not experiencing all of the same life things that the other wives are experiencing. Like, they're all becoming grandparents. They're going to their kids' weddings. Robyn's not there, and so she's not really putting herself in their shoes. Like, she's not imagining what it would be like to go sit at someone else's house for the holidays and miss out on your own kids. I don't know. I just think Robyn has no ability to view anything from anyone else's perspective. And Kody always talks about what a great communicator she is and how she can help people. That's so hard for me to imagine just based on this holiday issue in itself. The next group of comments are all about the question I asked in my last video. I wanted to know if any of you felt like Robyn didn't understand the role she had in this, because sometimes I think Robyn doesn't know. I think Robyn wanted to be the favorite wife. I don't always agree that she wanted to ruin all of the other relationships. I think she liked feeling like the favorite. I don't know that Robyn understood what the outcome would be and what her role was as she was pursuing the role of the favorite wife. So I wanted to know if you guys agreed with that or if you thought she knew. It was an overwhelming amount of, yes, she knows. She knows what she's doing. But I did want to talk about some of the comments that were left. But before we do, I'm going to throw in a clip of Robyn talking about how confused she is.
One of the things that is confusing for me is that I don't see the deal breakers between Kody and Christine. And I can't seem to kind of understand.
It's amazing how that woman never understands, never knows what's going on, is confused by all the things that happen. Absolutely blows my mind. It's like she's not living in the same family. Now we know Janelle thinks it's an act. Janelle does not believe it's true, but it just blows my mind. So here is the first comment. Robyn only sees the world through her self-centered lens. She's incapable of seeing a situation from someone else's perspective. She'll never see the havoc her and Codester have brought on the larger family. I think that's true. I think they're never going to get it because they just spend time together. And I think they're pretty isolated from a lot of other people. So they're just sitting in that house agreeing with each other. This comment is specifically about Robyn saying she's confused about everything and how there are no deal breakers. The comment says, sorry, but a partner saying they no longer want an intimate relationship with you sounds like a deal breaker in a marriage to me. I don't believe Robyn is oblivious. I think she is manipulative and likes to play the victim. That comment's good, and there's a lot of layers to this for me. I think Robyn likes to feel like the pretty young wife. Well, she's not the pretty young wife. if there's no other wives to compare her to. She's not going to be the favorite out of the 4 if there's not 3 other wives to be the favorite from. You know what I mean? Like, I think Robyn really enjoyed that role, and with no other wives around, she doesn't have as much power. So there's just a part of me that thinks she didn't want them all to leave. You know, maybe one of them or 2 of them, but there had to be at least one other person there for her to feel good about herself. But then also, I think, how could she ever say anything really bad about Kody? That would be the ultimate betrayal. She wouldn't be being loyal. So she has to sit around and I think always stick up for Kody a little bit. Now, does she realize she's doing this? I don't know. I have no idea what's going through Robyn's head. This next comment really expresses how I was feeling when I made the last video and I posed the question about Robyn to you guys. Listen to the comment. Maybe Robyn is so dense that she thinks Kody gives each wife and kids the same energy and attention that he showers Robyn and her kids with. Does Robyn think when Kody is at Christine's house, he's happy, loving, and engaged? When he's at Janelle's house, is he hanging out with Gabe and Garrison and Savannah, having fun, bonding adventures with them? If Robyn does think that he treats them like he does her and her kids, it would explain why she's so shocked and confused as to why everyone is being so mean to her and Kody. And if she does think that, she's dumb, dense, and blind. So that was sort of what I was thinking when I made the last video. Like, maybe she doesn't get it. Like, I'm sure she realizes he is there most of the time. But is it possible she thinks he's going and having the same experiences with everyone else? And so then she can't wrap her head around why those relationships aren't working? That would make her feel like she's the favorite, but it would still make the other relationships good relationships. It would just be an unfair way of splitting up the time, when realistically, Kody is just treating everyone like crap. So I kind of wonder if she is that dumb, dense, and blind. This next comment focuses on how Robyn and Kody always find themselves to be the victims. This comment reads, I find it very telling that Robyn described her actions in the Sib group chat as pushing, or how it's her kids versus the Brown kids. All I know is whoever is hosting the tell-all better hold Kody and Robyn accountable. It's so convenient that they have so many people to blame besides them. Also, Robyn has been the victim since day one. Her debt, her ex-husband's fault. Sister wives closet, nobody wanted to help her. It must be exhausting. First of all, I agree. I hope this next tell-all is a little bit better than the last one. I like Suki, but I don't necessarily... I don't know. She just needs... There was just things we wanted, I think, as viewers to have her ask that she never got to. And maybe there was a reason for that. But I hope in the next tell-all it is different. But also, with the part about Robyn being a victim, I absolutely agree. This Sister Wives Closet thing was a classic. She absolutely believed it failed because not everyone was supporting it, instead of realizing that the jewelry was rather expensive for what it was. And honestly, it was ugly. A lot of it was not stuff most people were going to want to wear, and not at the price point that they were putting it at. And she just could not accept that. This last comment is a little bit longer than the others, but I felt like it was really good. It's about how Robyn and her relationship with the other wives is different. It says, I feel like Robyn did want that dream of sitting on the porch with her sister wives and their families. However, she never really considered what she was actually asking for in obtaining that dream. She was so afraid of her children not being accepted that she caused the rift. Kody is super attentive with her children, yet at the cost of his other children. Her household was always separate. The kids weren't allowed to touch the food. Family traditions were changed. Christine and the other mothers not allowed to help care for the children. On and on it went, with seeming like the rest of the family made its sacrifices to accommodate for her wants without any return. That's why Janelle and Christine remained together. They raised their children together and worked as a team to create a home. Robyn seems unable to grasp that concept, and Kody seems unwilling to work for it as well. That comment was great, and I also want to remind everyone of what Christine said in episode 2 of this season. Robyn never really lived polygamy. She never lived in the house with him. She was never a part of it. And she set herself up for that. She never lived with him in Utah. Of course, by the time they got to Vegas, they were separate, and here they are still separate. She never lived in a home with them. She never went and got a job to bring income into that household for them. You know, she had sister wives closet, but it included them. She wanted them all to work too with her. She never shared in the childcare. She didn't want the other moms to watch her kids. And you know what? Maybe she did have reasons, but then really should have she married into this family. She shouldn't have, not in my opinion. She set herself up to be separate. And then I also like the part when in that comment where it says she was so afraid of her children not being accepted that she caused the rift. I believe she wanted Kody to, you know, become the father figure for her kids. We know that. Let's get real. She made them call him dad. She had that photo made where he's like in the photo and they're little. She wanted to pretend Kody had been there from the beginning, and she pushed that relationship so much that I think it did happen at the expense of all of the other children. You know, imagine that. You're in a huge family where you're already competing for time and resources, and then all of a sudden there are 3 kids come along who are getting all the attention and everyone's just working to bring them into the family. That had to be tough when it was happening. And then by the time they're adults, they're already pushed away. So I just thought that was a really good comment. But I'm not going to leave you just with that comment. Instead, I'm going to leave you with this creepy pic of Kody looking at you through a window. Sorry if that hurt your ears, guys. I am getting acquainted with the audio library and the video editor, and I couldn't, I felt like I needed to use that there. It was called Rising Tension, and it just... You know how Kody's always really intense. I felt like I needed to use it. Sorry, I won't do it again. But I'm going to leave you with his smiling face. I don't know, again, if it's creepy or actually joyful. I'm confused. Really confused. But if you haven't already, I hope you will click like and subscribe. If you do, I won't try to put scary photos of Kody in my videos anymore. But I hope you do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you come back to Happily Ever Reality.